Hello everybody, it's time for another little vlog, right? It's getting to that close to summer spot where, a lot of games start releasing, E3 happens, a lot of things are being announced and everything, so it's time to do just a little vlog mostly focusing on Heroes of the Storm, which is obviously what's in the background. So that is actually the first thing I want to talk about. In fact, you will see Heroes of the Storm guides coming up on Saturday and Sunday of this next week. It is currently the 9th of May. Is it May? Yeah, good. We're just in May. You never know when months switch and suddenly you're in a completely different month. So my guide series that I had been talking about a while ago is finally coming out. For several reasons, and that's the other stuff that we wanted to talk about. In fact, what day is Heroes of the Storm actually releasing? Look, I'm looking all this up as I go. It releases on the 2nd of June, officially, Heroes of the Storm does. And it's been, obviously, in technical alpha and then closed beta. And over the past few weeks, I, in particular, have been playing a lot of Diablo. As you guys well know from, seeing my initial videos on the season and me pushing for a leaderboard position, I still am doing that. I'm still doing quite well. I've changed my build up a little bit in Diablo, and I'm doing really well with it, right? So with that in mind, I haven't been playing Heroes of the Storm, so I came back because, we're getting kind of close to the launch of the game. I needed to verify a couple more guides before I really start putting them out, and I'm really rusty. So I figured I'd get back into the game, start playing, and then all of this news starts coming out about the game, right? So we've got, like, Kael'thas is coming out, hopefully on Tuesday, which would be nice. That would be Tuesday the 12th? Yeah, okay, that's enough days from when it is currently of recording this. And then Johanna, whatever you want to pronounce it as, because I know different people in different parts of the world pronounce that name differently. The Female Crusader is coming out, hopefully with the launch of the game. It's data mined that it would be the 2nd of June, which is the launch of the game, so we would get the Crusader as well, and that's like my jam, right? I'm really excited for that. I start reading all this Heroes of the Storm stuff, and then I realize, like, oh, I've got a few of these Heroes of the Storm guides recorded. It's gotten to the point where the game is solid enough. They've announced the release date where I can do the rest of the guides without really having to worry about the game being updated a lot. Or change drastically, so the guide is completely outdated. But I came up with a way of how to do the guides, because I'm recording most of it with Shadowplay, which is such smaller files in comparison to Fraps, so that means I could keep the source footage around. That way, if the main part of the guide changes, I could just use that same source footage, or alter it in some way, but use the rest of the source footage. You don't need to know any of that. Anyways, basically what I'm saying is that the guides are going to start coming out starting this week. So the reason you're going to see them on the weekend is currently we are waiting for Project Destiny to come back, but I need all of my mods updated for Kerbal Space Program, and that usually takes the place, because we release daily videos, at least one a day, and that takes the place of Saturday and Sunday videos as Project Destiny. But because it's, hasn't been updated, like my mods, just got 2 mods basically that I'm waiting on, then I can't do it. And in fact, I can't even load into my Project Destiny save without those mods, otherwise everything just breaks. Trust me, I've tried. I've got like hundreds of backups of the save, so I'm good to go for that. But I'm waiting for those, so that's the reason why the guides will be coming out on the weekend. Until Project Destiny comes back, then they'll probably flip to Monday and Tuesday. Also, with Monday and Tuesday, right, we've been doing Alien, and that's coming to an end. We just have a handful of episodes left. We recorded our last session, and it was really fun, and the ending of the game is awesome. If you haven't watched that series, I still stand by the fact that I think it's the funniest thing that we've ever done, and the best thing that we've ever done. But, obviously that's completely subjective. So that's going to be ending, which means Monday and Tuesday will be available, and then the rest of the guides for Heroes of the Storm will come out on Monday and Tuesday as soon as Project Destiny is back up and running. So boom, that's my guide plan. The reason these guides are important is because Heroes of the Storm is a very different game from, you know, League of Legends and Dota, despite what people may think with first impressions. Like, the fact that all of the maps have different objectives, and those different objectives have strategy to it. You know, imagine your one League of Legends map, the one that, you know, Dota has been using forever. Think about that map and think about all the strategy that comes into that one map. Now, think about having multiple maps. Suddenly the strategy changes, and strategy evolves slower for those maps because you generally have, you know, less playtime on any given map than you do for like one map. If you were only playing one map over and over again, you would get so good at it that you would figure out the strategies fairly quickly, and like where to gank from, and you know, timings on everything. But strategy develops slower for these maps, for these battlegrounds in Heroes of the Storm, because there's more of them, so you're playing different matches on different maps. So, you know, just like all of that stuff combined, plus the fact that, you know, heroes can act significantly different because you're not having to buy items and stuff. It's just like all this little stuff that makes Heroes of the Storm a game that needs guides, because it's got this StarCraft syndrome. Anybody can get in and play and have fun with it, but it does take a lot of practice and skill to be good at the game. I know that's kind of weird because a lot of people think Heroes of the Storm is like this Mario Kart of MOBAs, and it's, you know, it's definitely it feels like a more casual version, but there's a lot of competitive strategy there that isn't fully realized yet, because a lot of the pros are just, you know, getting into the game and really starting off. And I think next year around this time, it'll be a whole different story. It'll be Heroes of the Storm being like a massively watched thing for esports, and it's going to be really good. So for the people who are intimidated by that kind of thing, my thought process is I want to get you into this game because it's really fun, and I understand the intimidation. Even if it's not intimidation, you just don't want to play it because you don't want to learn it. You don't want to just get into it because there's, you know, there's an uphill battle from day one. I totally understand that, which is why I'm doing the guides. Plus, there's plenty of people who've never played any of these kind of games before, and they're going to be getting into it with Heroes of the Storm because it's that kind of game. So because the launch is coming, I figure get my guides out slightly earlier here, have them all up to date, and then start doing hero guides and popping those out. So that's the plan, just to keep you guys updated. That was planned to begin with, but you guys already knew that, so I just figured I would tell you when the guides are coming, how they're going to be released and all that stuff. So don't be surprised if you see maybe a couple videos a day. If Project Destiny does come back early and Alien's still around, then I may keep it on the weekends. Okay, so let's move on, because I love my Heroes of the Storm, but I did want to quickly move on, because while talking about Alien, it reminded me that this is the first series since our original Diablo series. I'm gonna look this up because this is an interesting stat for me to share. But our original Diablo series featured me, Garrick, and Six Pounder, and we played through on hardcore, and it was really fun. That was when the game first released, so we had a lot of gripes about it, and it's really funny because a lot of our stuff that we hated about Diablo back then, and it's funny because I play a lot of Diablo now, a lot of our gripes back then were completely changed when Reaper of Souls came out. But the last episode of that series came out September 11th, 2012. That was the finale of that one. So it had been since that series basically on until Six Pounder came back to the channel, and he's one of my favorite people to do videos with, and people have commented on the Alien stuff saying that he's really funny and they like him, which is fine, because like I get that. I want him to be a part of more videos. So my thing here is I want to ask you guys, what do you think that we should do next? It doesn't have to be me, Garrick, and Six. It could be just me and Six. You know, like me and Six doing stupid decks against each other in Hearthstone is really funny. You would be surprised. I've thought about recording it before because we crack each other up with some of the stupid things that are played and the RNG that happens. But, you know, it could be like a cooperative game, could be a competitive game, could be us playing Heroes or, you know, more Diablo or anything. So if you have an idea of what we should play, let me know, because I really want to go with the opinion of the people on this one. You know, especially if you guys have an idea of what me and Six and Garrick should be playing. We're going to be doing, you know, individual stuff here and there, but for the most part, I wanted an idea that you guys, you know, may already have in mind. Like maybe Grand Theft Auto stuff online would be really fun, or, you know, like Saints Row 4, like that would be really fun, right? Anyways, that's just me musings. So with that, we we have some new games that are coming up. One of them I committed to, or at least partially committed to in a way. Like, I really want to do Arkham Knight when it comes out, but that's not until June 23rd. So that's quite a ways away. It's more than a month away. And then you have Witcher coming out. Gosh, when does The Witcher release? It's like next week, isn't it? Is that Witcher 3, May 19th. Whew, that's 10 days from the time of recording this. That is really soon. Like, I don't know if I want to do The Witcher 3 or not. I had the experience, the bad experience with the first game. And then the second game I played a bit of. I really liked it. And this third game, everything I see about it, I'm just super intrigued by. It's got, like, a little bit of Dragon Age in there. It just looks really good, right? Like, there's nobody who's looking at The Witcher 3 saying that it looks bad. So I'm considering playing it, especially because they said that you didn't really need to play the first 2 games to get it. You could just pick it up and play, which is why in a lot of the advertising they've removed Witcher 3 from it, and it's just The Witcher Wild Hunt with, like, the little scrape things there that... It means that it's the third game, but that they're not advertising it as such anymore, which is really smart. So I don't know if I should do that as a series, and I wanted to know, like, what did you guys want to see The Witcher 3 as a series? Because I hear it's a 200-hour-long game, keeping in mind that Dragon Age Inquisition is 120 hours, and we're like, a third of the way through that game now, and we're on, like, episode 70s. We're in the 70s here. So if I want to commit to another RPG, there would be an overlap day. It may take like Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday would have a Dragon Age and a Witcher episode. I don't know. I'll probably end up playing a little bit of The Witcher before I decide whether or not for sure I'll do a series, but I did want to, once again, hear your guys' opinion on this, because, you guys are the ones watching it. Do you want to watch The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt? Would you watch an entire series of that? Would you even just watch half a series of that? Because I would be down to do a full series and only have people watch half of it. I'm fine with that. Because, it's pretty typical for, like, long Let's Plays like that. But, Batman for sure. I really want to do Batman. And I've thought about playing through the first 3 games. So, obviously, I don't know if I would do Arkham Origins when I think about it. I may start with Arkham Origins, then do Arkham City and all that stuff, but I don't know. Like, I don't think I would do that as a series. They're not long games, but they're long enough that a month away is still kind of too long. Like, I would have to put out like 45-minute episodes. I don't know if that would be watchable or not, but I think I should be fine just to be able to hop right into Arkham Knight. From everything I've seen with it, even though I've played a bit of the old game, so I know how it's going, especially with this new graphics card, by the way. I can run all these games, so that's why I'm excited to do it. Those are the main games that I have popping in my head right now that I want to do, so let me know if you have any game that's coming out soon or that has been released recently that you want us to do, because now is the time before summer to get this in. Once summer hits, we're kind of like booked throughout the entire summer until fall hits. And then we start getting, a small release of games. But by then we'd have finished some of the series we're already on. And we'll have room to do some more stuff. And by then, by the end of summer for sure, all of the Heroes of the Storm guides will absolutely, by like midsummer, all the Heroes of the Storm guides will be done. But like doing the hero guides, like the once or twice a month hero guides for individual characters, that may not finish really wrapping up all the ones that are currently out until the fall. So, once again, we're dealing with time frames here. So let me know if you have any game that you want me to do. Long story short, right? Let me know if you have any game that you want me and Six to do, or me, Six, and Garrick, or me and Garrick. Any combination of us, because I want to get them doing more videos, and I feel like we're ready to move on to our next game. Even though Alien wasn't a cooperative game, it was fun to have them watch it. So, with that in mind, if there's any single-player games out there that you want all 3 of us to do through, let me know as well, because it worked. There was a small delay between, what they were seeing and what I was actually doing, but it worked in the long run. I think I don't think it was too much of a nuance, like a weird nuance there, and most people understood that there was a bit of a delay, and I have a way of doing it where there would be a lot less delay, so yeah, we can do that for single player games in the future as well. All of that being said, right, I wanted to quickly say that I'm super excited where the channel's going once again. We, just continue to grow, and it just continues to get bigger and bigger. The best part is we continue to get new people who come in and watch a Star Wars guide because they're into Star Wars. And then what ends up happening is they stick around for a bit, and then they see that they do Dragon Age, and then they watch our Dragon Age videos. If you're one of those people, it's awesome to bring you in from old past videos, but I'm really looking forward to what's coming up here in the near future. And speaking of Star Wars and near future, they're apparently teasing this whole Fallen Empire expansion thing, and this new patch just came out with the Emperor and all this stuff, and that sounds really fun. So I would appreciate, because as much as I like to keep up on gaming news, sometimes it's very hard to do so. So I would appreciate if you guys nudged me in directions of Star Wars, just because I'm interested in the story, right? So if they release something huge for the next expansion, let me know, and I may take a look at it. I may do a couple videos on the next expansion. I'm not really doing a whole lot of MMO stuff. I play a little bit of WildStar here and there, and that's really it. So I've got a little bit of free time as far as that is concerned. So I'm open to the idea of checking out some more Star Wars stuff. Whether or not I get back into it that's probably never going to happen, on a large scale like it was before. But I may do, a little bit of videos on it. So it's always worth calling out you guys to notify me of any massive dealings in that community, because I don't have the time to always keep an eye on it, right? And not everybody reports news on it, so even though I'm following the devs on Twitter and stuff, it's sometimes you miss things. So let me know. Okay, I think that wraps up everything I needed to talk about. Get into Heroes. Seriously, there's some really cool stuff coming, and heck, if you're just a Hearthstone player, if you get to level 12 in Heroes, you will get a really cool Heroes of the Storm card back for Hearthstone. And if you're a big Hearthstone player anyways, if you've won 100 games in Hearthstone, you'll get literally a Hearthstone card as a mount. It'll be kind of like a magic carpet thing that you'll be able to use in Heroes of the Storm. So a lot of cool stuff coming to the game, and I feel like I said this before, I think it's the next big MOBA. It'll be the thing that takes the world by storm. Okay. With that being said, we shall see you guys next time.